a good person is about to die, he starts to see things that he couldn't see before. The angels come in. And how do these angels look? Very beautiful, very nice, smelling very good. He can smell that things that now that he could not smell before. And he can hear things now that he could not hear before. He can hear with the angel of death, Malakul Maut, when the angel of death sits down next to his head and invites him very nicely and kindly, come out, O pure soul, come out to the reward of Allah. And so the soul, is the soul afraid to leave the body now? Is the soul afraid to go and join the world of the angels? To go and join the world of the unseen? No. The soul is not scared because it's so happy to meet these beautiful people and to go and enjoy the next life. And so how does the soul come out of the body? Like a drop of water coming out of a jug. Very smooth and easy. And it's not any friction, not any pain. And then we also talked about how the angels take the soul and wrap it in a beautiful cloth from Jannah, a kafan from Jannah. And then they go up into the skies. And they go through the different gates of all the different skies on this miraculous journey that none of us could possibly imagine while we're still alive. But the good person who dies is experiencing it. And then when they get to the highest points of the universes, then Allah says that the soul cannot come any farther. The soul has to go back to the earth for now, because مِنْهَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ وَفِيهَا نُعِيدُكُمْ وَمِنْهَا نُخْرِجُكُمْ تَارَةً أُخْرَى. Allah created us from the earth. So Allah is going to put us back into the earth after we die, and then on the Day of Judgment, He's going to bring us back out of the earth, the same way that plants come out of the earth. So, then the angels take the soul back to the earth, and then when the people who are still alive bury that dead person, the soul goes into the grave with the body. And the grave, at first, is a small place, and then the two angels, Munkar and Nakir, come, and they ask the three most important questions that any one of us will ever be asked, and all of us will be asked these questions. Who is your Lord? What is your deen? And who is your prophet? Or what do you say about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And if he is a righteous person, he will say, my Lord, my master is Allah. My deen, my way of life, and my code of conduct and code of spirituality is Islam. And my prophet is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or this man Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is my prophet. And then Allah will say, "Qad sadaqa abdi," my slave has told the truth. And then the grave will become a beautiful place, very big, like as far as the eye can see. And there will be a window into Jannah with the breeze and the smell of Jannah coming in. And there will be furniture and carpets from Jannah, and food and everything from Jannah, and clothes and everything from Jannah. And that person will enjoy himself. But when he sees his place in Jannah through the window, he will wish that the Day of Judgment can start already, so that he can go and leave the grave, even though it's so nice, so he can go to the Jannah, which is even better. And so he says, Ya Rabb, aqim as-sa'a. He's even asking Allah to start the Day of Judgment. But of course, the time of the Day of Judgment is known only to Allah. Nobody knows when the Day of Judgment will be except Allah. And when Allah brings it, that when He decides, then it will come. But it will not come before that. And so the person in the grave is enjoying himself or herself until the time comes for the Day of Judgment. Now what about the soul that's not righteous? The wicked soul, you could say. The evil soul. This one has opposite. So the same thing happens, right? The person can start to see things that he was not able to see before. Can we see the angels right now? No. We can't see the angels right now. Can we see any jinn right now? No. Can we see the angel of death if he walks through the door or comes to the ceiling to come and get one of us? No. Can we see? No, we can't. This is something unseen. But when somebody is on the deathbed, or when somebody's in an accident or something and they're about to die, then now the angels come. But are the angels beautiful like how they come to the good person? No. These angels, when they come, and the angel of death, he's scary, and he's hideous and ugly and frightening. And we can't even imagine. Maybe sometimes we saw a scary movie, or a scary cartoon, or a scary comic book or something, or a scary picture, and maybe you think about how scared that made you feel, and how you didn't want to see it anymore, and you wanted to hide it. You didn't even want to be in the same room as it. Well, we don't even know that the angel of death could even be more horrifying than that. And when the angel of death comes, sure, you might be able to run away from the TV when something scary comes. Or you might be able to run away from the book or hide the book. But can a person who's about to die run away from the angel of death? No. Can a person hide from the angel of death? No. He is set over us. He is there for us, and He's not going to leave us. So when He comes, there's no hiding. So the person who lived a wicked life, or who did not live the life according to the truth of the Quran and the Sunnah, the ways that Allah revealed to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, then that person, when he sees the angels of death coming, they're like that. They're scary looking. And we can't even imagine it. Now, what about the kafan that they bring, the sheet to wrap up the soul? Is it a nice and beautiful sheet like the good soul has, smelling very good? No. It's a very, very scratchy, very painful cloth to touch. And it smells very bad. Why? Where did it come from, this cloth? This cloth came from Jahannam. And this cloth is the worst smell, terrible smell. Now remember, Jahannam is so evil that there are narrations that say that if one drop of Jahannam came onto the earth, it would poison all of the oceans of the earth forever. That's more pollution than human beings can ever produce. Human beings are producing a lot of pollution. We're pumping a lot of sewage into the rivers every time we flush the toilet. We're pumping a lot of gasoline and everything into the oceans, killing all the fish. Plastic all into the waterways. We're polluting the air with all the smoke and everything. And even if we destroy ourselves and destroy humankind by polluting the earth will heal if Allah wills. If Allah gives the earth time, it will heal. Because our pollution is bad, but imagine, one drop of Jahannam is so bad that the earth could never heal from it. It's more than all of that sewage that we're pumping, all of that gas that we're spewing into the air. It's worse than all of that. That's how bad Jahannam is, one drop of Jahannam. So imagine a sheet coming from Jahannam, a cloth from Jahannam. We don't even know how disgusting it will smell and how painful it will be. And then the angel of death will come and sit next to the head of the dying person and say, "Oh, you filthy soul, you evil soul, you wicked soul, come out to the anger of Allah and the punishment." And does the soul want to go? No, the soul is afraid to go. The soul doesn't want to go, so the soul, even though it knows that it cannot hide, the soul tries to hide. It grabs onto the body. Like if you're sitting next to a tree and somebody tries to pull you away from the tree, you grab onto the branches, you grab onto the twigs, and you try to hold on. But that person is strong and carrying you, and you're pulling the tree. Now imagine this person the soul is holding onto the body. It's holding onto the muscles and holding onto the nerves and holding onto the tendons and holding onto the veins and the bones and everything, trying to hold on. But the angel of death is strong. And the angel of death cannot be denied. When the angel of death comes, nobody can deny the angel of death. Nobody can oppose the angel of death. Nobody can resist the angel of death. And so the angel of death pulls and pulls and pulls until, how does Rasulullah ﷺ say? He says that the bad soul will come out of the body like a thorny branch, a branch full of thorns, being pulled out a bunch of hair. Imagine a bunch of hair, and it's all tangled up around this branch, and then you're trying to pull them apart. It's going to tear and tear and tear. And it might be so bad that you can't do it yourself. You have to get a whole bunch of people to pull, and it's going to be even more catastrophic. It's going to be even more painful. And this is what the soul is feeling at the time. And the soul is torn out of the body. And then when the soul is torn out of the body, then the angels come and they wrap it up in that dirty, nasty, stinky, painful cloth. And that's the clothes that soul has to wear. And it has to be surrounded in it. And now, the angels have to take this soul into the next world. And so they start to take the soul into the next world, but does Allah open the doors of the sky for the soul? No. No miraculous journey into the samawat for this soul. This soul doesn't get to go there. Allah says that the sky does not open for these people. The sky refuses to open. Does the sky want to open for this person? No, because the sky had to put up with this person's bad deeds all the time. Because when we do good deeds or bad deeds, our deeds go up to Allah. If we do good deeds, then it's passing all the skies, it's passing all the angels who live in the skies. And then when we die, then we go and then the angels say, "Oh hey, this is so and so. had such, used to do so much good deeds, and we remember seeing the good deeds. Whenever this person would say Subhanallah, or whenever this person would say do Salah, or read Quran, we could hear and we could see. When this person would do a good deed for his parents, or when this person would give something from her wealth to the charity, as charity for the needy, we used to recognize this person's good deeds, and so they welcome this person. But imagine if somebody was always sending over bad deeds. This person was doing so many bad deeds, and so this person was sending up all kinds of nasty things into the skies. Then the skies don't want this person anymore. And when the angels who live in the skies see this person who used to send all these bad deeds, what will these angels say? These angels will say, "You, not him. This person who used to do such and such," and they'll call him by the worst names. This evil person so and so. This evil person such and such. The one who used to do evil things such and such, and they won't welcome him at all. So now he's away. Maybe this person had some people that he used to love, family, friends in his life. But now when he's dead, there's nobody in that world who will love him. Nobody in the skies who loves him. All the angels are going to hate him. And so now he went from earth where he had some comfort, and now he went to a place where there's no comfort whatsoever. And he cannot go back. There's no way to go back home. And actually, one of the righteous people from the early generations was asked, "Why do people fear death?" He said, "People fear death because they are afraid to leave what they have built up, what they have constructed, and go to what they have destroyed." Meaning, people are so busy building up the dunya. They're so busy building up their kingdoms and their wealth and their property and their estates and their everything and their reputation in the dunya. And they're so busy concentrating on building their dunya that they don't do anything for their akhirah. And so their akhirah is getting worse and worse and worse. And then finally when they die, they have to leave behind all that stuff that they built in the dunya. And they have to go to the place that they destroyed in the akhirah. And they don't want to do that. And so now they're in that place where they destroyed. They're in the place that there's no comfort for them. They left the place where there was some comfort for them in the dunya, and they went to the place where there's no comfort for them in the akhirah. And then, now this soul cannot go into the skies. And so the angels send it back into the earth. And when the soul comes back to the body, comes back and sits on the chest of the body, and they're carrying the body to the grave, now this soul knows what's going to happen. Oh no, they're going to put me in that little hole. They're going to put me in that grave. And then what does he say? He says, what are you guys doing? He says, he starts cursing and everything. He says, "Why are you taking me? Where are you taking me?" But they cannot hear him. And Rasulullah ﷺ said that if Allah let you hear the voice of this dead person, of this soul, as you're carrying it to the grave, you would drop the dead body. You would drop it and run away, and nobody would go pick it up. But Allah is merciful. He covered our ears so that we don't hear this unseen thing, the unheard thing there, the ghaib thing there, so that we can just go, bury the body, make dua, and leave. So they take this body. They don't hear what the soul is screaming, cursing. And when they get to the grave, they put it down just like they did with the good soul, and then and the soul can hear as the dirt and the shovels are coming, and the soul can hear as they finally finish filling the hole, and they pat it down with their shovels. They say some du'as and they start walking away. The soul can hear as they're walking away and as they're getting on their horses, or if you haven't made hijrah to a village yet, getting into the car. They can hear the car starting and they can hear the car going until there's silence. All of the friends that they used to know, gone. All of the loved ones that they used to know, family, gone. All of the wealth that they used to find comfort in, gone. Because what does Rasulullah ﷺ say? There are three things that follow the person to the grave. Two of them go back and one of them stays. What are them? What are these three things? What are they? They are the family, the wealth, and the deeds. The family and the wealth go back home. Go back to the dunya. But then the deeds, that's what stays in the grave with the person. Good deeds or bad deeds? Now, the grave squeezes the dead person when he's in there. And then the two angels come. Munkar and Nakir. And they come vicious and horrifying. But this time, they're asking the same three questions, and they're shaking and being very, very scary. And they're asking him, "Who is your Lord? What is your way of life? And who is this man?"